from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jess Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday live at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Twitch, Apple TV, and Roku.
Whoa, that's a lot to say.
It is. Photographic memory she has, too.
Wow.
So it's Wealth Wednesday, you guys. Today we're going to talk about wealthy mindset, the millionaire mindset, because we come together each morning to get our minds right, to know the truth, and to have a little fun around here.
That's right. Wake up and cake up.
Wake up, show, shine. That's what I like to say. Just as our guests have done, we're so excited to welcome to the show a group of wildly successful women in their own rights. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Oh, Erica De La Cruz is in the house. She's a Focus TV member, author of this #1 Amazon best-selling book, Fashionistas. Good morning, Erica.
Hey, girl. Hey, I'm so excited to be here.
Hey, girl.
You guys look fabulous.
Hey.
Good morning.
Well, thank you so much for starting your day with us. We know you are so wildly busy right now. What's your morning routine like, Erica? How do you start your day?
Well, I always start, this is terrible, I'm admitting it on national television, but I usually start by caffeinating. So either an Uber Eats or a Postmates delivered to my door, latte lifestyle, and then I meditate. So it's kind of a conundrum, but both have gotten me here this morning.
Oh, Postmates.
I never think about Postmating the coffee. You're right.
That's just one more
I know, it's so bad. Don't do it because you'll spoil yourself. And in today's digital world, it's so damn easy. You roll over, you grab your phone, and you hit reselect, and then they show up like 15 minutes later.
That's amazing.
It's bad. I'm a coffee snob, so if I'm going to have one, I may as well have a good one all day. So
I agree. Well, thank you, Erica, for being with us. Alicia Dunhams is in the house. I get, not have to, right?
Yes.
I love that.
Yes, I get to. Language is life, and I firmly believe that what you say, you create. It's the power of the spoken word. And so when people say, I have to go to work, what would it look like if you reframe that and said, I get to go to work? Because guess what? Some people don't have a job.
Yeah.
And another example is I have to go pick my kids up from school. Well, again, reframe it. I get to pick up my kids from school. What a blessing that is. So in my book, I talk about what the power is in reframing the language that we use, changing I have to I get to even something like, I'm going to call you out on that. Instead of saying call you out, what if you want to call someone forth into their leadership?
Love it. Spoken like a true expert. So, Alicia, what's your morning routine? How do you start your day?
Oh, wow. Writing in a journal. So that's really important with a gratitude list, getting really focused on what you're grateful for. One thing that I know for sure is that when you don't start with gratitude, you focus on maybe lack in what you don't have. And when you focus on gratitude and what you're grateful for, you create more of that.
I love that. You know what I'm grateful for this morning?
What are you grateful for?
Patricia Darbo.
Yes.
The award-winning actress and producer in the house. Hot up, bold, and the beautiful. Good morning. You look bold and beautiful.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm just feel like Barbara Streisand in Funny Girl. I'm suddenly going, ah, like this. Holy crap. Anyway, they're beautiful women. I'm sitting here and entrepreneurs everywhere. I'm so excited. And my morning routine, I'm sure you're going to ask me that. That's to roll my husband over to the side and say, get up, honey, get the dog out. Then I crawl out of bed. And then that starts the day, honey. What can I tell you? Been married almost 45 years. That's the routine. The beauty routine, baby. What can I say? That's why I look so fabulous this morning.
It's working for you, Patricia. I'm going to stick with this one.
Yes.
Speak up, honey. She's older. Go ahead.
It's working for you.
Yeah, but, there's that boy again. Isn't yellow his color? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking over here to look at him. I'm so sorry. The director's going, here, you look here. I'm there. Hi, hon.
We love you, Patricia.
Well, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your time and light this morning. Anne-Marie Dobbins is in the house. She's an incredible actor, model, and designer behind these gorgeous Afro anti-theft handbags. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Congratulations. These bags launched, I think, 2-3 days ago, and they're already sold out.
On Monday, yes, 48 hours and sold out. I'm still in shock, but I am so thankful and grateful, and I mean, they speak for themselves, so.
So they're sold out because they're beautiful and they're anti-theft.
Yes.
It's still yours. You gotta buy it.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
So Anne Marie, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
Well, right now, since it's October and I'm in the fall spirit, right now I'm doing a pumpkin spice latte every morning. I have to get it in, you know?
I completely understand.
Yes.
Well, we have another latte lover over there, Erica. So thank you, ladies, so much for being with us. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
Good vibes today,
Oh my gosh.
huh?
Yes. Love these women. It's incredible.
Everyone's real. I love that we have like the whole, women's empowerment in the house again. This happens a lot on Wednesdays, right?
I know. I love the positive energy, wealthy energy.
There you go.
Yeah, it's wealthy.
So what's going on, you guys? What's the new scoop?
The new scoop, well, I am still celebrating everything from LA Fashion Week. It was so exciting to be there. And the release of the latest article in Gemma magazine, it was a feature that they did about a day in my life. So I was really excited to be continuing to share that. Just so grateful to honor and celebrate these women in our community who continue to help build me up, and I can contribute to their lives. So it's been incredibly
Love that.
exciting. Yeah.
What's the favorite part of your day, Jess? In general?
Obviously, getting to do Good Morning LaLaLand.
That was a softball question, wasn't it? Set you up for that one.
It really is. It's been incredible just to be able to be in the presence of these wildly successful guests, especially on Wednesdays. It's one of my favorite days, really focusing on the entrepreneur mindset. I myself am in entrepreneur life school. I talk about this a lot. Last night I went to one of these angel investor meetings, and it's always so inspiring to get to see these startups pitch their businesses to this group of people who could write a check and literally fund someone's dream. That could change the world. Super exciting.
Awesome.
So exciting.
Love that, Jess.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
I
Love
get the
that.
Cliff's Notes from Jazz every week. Look what you learned, Jess.
What did you learn, Rob? I'm sure you're reading something incredible. What are you reading right now?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
what are you reading?
So
Which-
many
how
books.
many books?
I read, so for, I don't know, several years I was reading a book a day. Not quite at that level because I have to work. But I was reading a book a day for years. And so now I tend to read multiple books at the same time. But I'm revisiting A Return to Love. I just love Marianne Williamson's work. Just incredible. I think it was one of her best works. I also am reading a lot of Joel Goldsmith, so I'm reading Conscious Union. I'm reading Positive Intelligence, which is a great book.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a new book sort of about, so we know about traditional IQ, and we know about EQ, which is emotional intelligence, but PQ is a new term that's been coined to sort of identify the way in which you maximize the potential that IQ and EQ have identified, right? So it's like, you can have all this great potential, but if you're not able to access it and make positive use of it, then it's just, wasted. So positive intelligence is basically about how to make your mind your best friend.
Oh.
Well, this is great R&D for the Positivity Summit that's happening this
It is,
weekend.
Jess,
There you
it
go,
is.
right?
Thanks for calling that out.
On
Yes.
October 20th, a big shout out to our friend Cornell Thomas, who's hosting this incredible summit filled with the most incredibly inspiring positivity experts, including Rob McOfficial. So what are you going to be speaking on this weekend?
Always happiness. I always speak about happiness, sort of what leads to happiness and also what happiness leads to. So I'll sort of be distilling sort of everything I've learned in the last 25 years or so, both
Which is
from
a lot
pen.
from a book
It's a
a
lot.
day.
Yes, it is. Distilling it down until, just an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I love
tickets
it.
are still available at Positivity Summit. They're giving a great discount rate to our viewers, so be sure to use that cue LaLaLand.
Yeah, shout out
Love
to
that.
Cornell Thomas. Love Jeslyn. Thank you for shouting that out.
Of course.
I love
and
that.
Erin, I know you've been up to a lot.
I've been booked up with clients. I can't believe it. I used to take a lot of all kinds of clients, and I kind of set the intention in a lot of prayer work around working with just women that are committed to being spiritual leaders. So I booked up, I literally booked up my clientele, which is amazing because I haven't done that. No, I took a break at the beginning when we first started launching this, and I was doing other projects, and I've taken that back on. But I'm mostly excited because I get to see my son on Friday. We have the family reunion this weekend, which is all about philanthropy. So we come together once a year to give money away. It's super cool. It's kind of funny because it actually happened a few generations back. My great-great-grandfather set up the fund, and it was back in the day when my family actually had a lot of money a long time ago, and it was all lost in the Depression. So a lot of generations, yes, some people are doing well, some people aren't, whatever that is, but it's really super cool because no matter where you're at, the family comes together, we give, we have to find out what philanthropy, what foundations we want to give money to, and we come together and make an excuse to make a weekend out of it. And,
That's fantastic.
And it's amazing.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, so we do it in Ojai. We're doing this this weekend, which is a very spiritual place, so I'm excited to just be in that vortex and be with my family and good vibes and give some money away.
I love that, Erin. And in fact, that speaks back to the positive intelligence thing, because one of the things that they discovered was that the people that provide the most help to other people actually have higher PQs, higher positive intelligence. So clearly your family is wealthy in more than one way.
It's, well, you know, not very many people do it. You know, you talk to people and they're like, oh, my family's never had a reunion, you know. We're very fortunate to be able to do that once a year, and it's really great for the generations to see all the generations. And
super cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
I know.
Hashtag family goals. We had a great show yesterday here on Good Morning LALALAND. Incredible guests. It was hashtag Motivation Monday. Let's take a look at the rewind. There are so many free outlets to gain the same kind of insights and the same information. Granted, you might not be a part of the visionary community, but you can still learn from them. You know, there's great podcasts out there. Chris and Lori Carter have a great podcast. They've been guests on our show, and they really are sharing so many of their deep personal insights there.
Well, when it comes to success, man, I think the Nike slogan, just do it. Yeah. You know, I was talking to another younger guy that he was just up and coming. He said, Sam, can I get a minute with you? I said, I don't have time. If you want to have a minute with me, come work out with me. We'll talk while I'm working out. And he goes,
right.
you know, I go, I don't have time, but I'll talk to you while I'm working out. So he was talking to us, so when should I start? I'm like, you know what? Now. Now, just start.
The other thing that's hugely inspired me is this 100-year-old yoga teacher. Her name is Tao Pershan Lynch. She's based in New York. And she really inspired me because, as I always say, that yoga is for any age, and people usually think that that's only for kids, but me and her show both ends of like the spectrum. Age is not a limit for yoga at all. She's 100, still teaching, still practicing, doing headstands. And
Natalie Astrian, America's youngest female yoga instructor.
13.
Right?
13 years old, and she's already transforming so many lives around the world through yoga. I'm so
I love
inspired
how
by
she
her.
talked about the 100-year-old woman, 90, was it 90? And the younger, and I feel like there's a generation, this is so cool because ageism is such on the forefront of the conversation in the women's empowerment movement. And I just think it should be so glorified, beautifully aged, you know, women and young women coming together in something like yoga. So awesome.
I mean, if anything doesn't or shouldn't discriminate, it's yoga, right?
Right?
Yeah, totally. It's all about union.
Exactly. Yoga will help you live that 1% life, like Sam Bakhtar, our other incredible guest yesterday.
Sweetheart.
His energy was amazing, wasn't
So
it?
good. I can't wait to try that fat coffee.
Oh my gosh, he's sending us like this protein pudding.
Protein
I'm
pudding
so in.
and cereal milk.
And cereal,
It's like protein milk that actually tastes like the milk that would have been in your cereal bowl. Rob was like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, Lucky Charms, stuff I haven't had in like 20 years. I will receive that.
And that fat coffee.
Oh yes, and the fat coffee, that's right.
Fat coffee.
Great show.
Brilliant name, brilliant marketing
It's
for
going to
sure.
be fantastic. Well, today is Wealth Wednesday, as we mentioned earlier in the show, and we want to mention the millionaire mindset. Erin, so what is that?
Well, I mean, I think it's cheesy. Let's just get to the straight. Like millionaire minds, that's so cheesy, but you know, it's called the hook in the United States. We are obsessed with money in our culture, right?
Yeah.
And material things and whatever. But the reality is that there is a mindset and a common denominator, I think, around these mindsets. Not fully, but you know, I think that you can categorize it. And I remember years back going through so many leadership distinctions. And so when I was writing my book, I was like, okay, what are these distinctions of what that leadership is? And I came up with 11, but I'm sure there's all different types of things. Basically, it really is a mindset that knows that anything's possible, that you're the source, that there is only abundance in this universe. So I did come up with 11. We can kind of chat about it, whatever. But I think that bottom line, when people come, because they come a lot, especially for subconscious work around money, it's one of the biggest driving forces that has people do their subconscious work. And I think that one thing is we have to go back to where they decided at a subconscious level that they handed their power over to money, they handed their power over to different things where they felt like they failed, and they kind of forgot the power that be inside of them. So shifting that, number one, and then getting to things like committed versus trying. You know, if you take a look at most people that are very successful, they don't try. They just know they're going to do whatever it has to be done to reach that goal. And they just like, right?
Well, it's really interesting though, because a lot of people think though that until they reach whatever that is, $1 million, that they're still trying for the $1 million rather than accepting that they are on that path. It's a really interesting frame, and I'd be curious to talk to Alicia Dunham about this, about the verbiage and the words that they're using to program that intention around that millionaire mindset. There was a great article on millionaire mindset at entrepreneur.com, and it basically broke it down saying chasing money has actually remarkably little to do with getting rich. It's all about the mindset. It's really all about what you can do to reprogram yourself and your subconscious, as Erin always says.
It's interesting also because if you take a look at wealthy people, they don't have money in the bank generally. They have it in investments. Their money's working for them. There's a flow of energy, which is that, so I do think that coming back to what you just said, like, it's not necessarily focusing on the money, it's focusing on the why you're having that money. What are you doing with it? What's the lifestyle? How are you giving back? Or what are you creating in your business? I think the focus is more on that than the actual money exchange. I mean, yeah, of course.
So it really is about creating a healthy relationship around money, right? Is that the idea?
Well, I think that there is goals. I mean, there's got to be strategic goals of what that is, whether that's building assets, whether that's building a brand, whether that's building, cash flow, whatever that is, but getting clear of what your mindset is, and then not thinking of the problems around that, but thinking of the gap, that opportunity of who you need to be, what resources you need to figure out, what teamwork you need to do to overcome the gap between the problem and the opportunity, the solution.
But the bottom line is that you really just have to figure out why. Why do you really want to do this? What is your vision? What impact do you really want to have in the world with your $1 million? What do you want your legacy to be? Because until you have that intention, until you have that vision clearly stated for yourself, you're never going to get there. Or you're going to get there and you're never going to be really, truly happy with it.
I love that, Jess. And I would say the greater invitation is, how can I experience whatever it is that I want to achieve through money? How can I experience that right now in this moment?
That's another distinction, now versus
process
someday.
orientation as opposed to result orientation, as opposed to a destination addiction kind of idea, and which is the trap, because my practice is mostly full of people. There are people from all walks of life, but it's really full of people who have crushed it financially, they've crushed it professionally, and they don't have any peace.
Right.
And they have a lot of trouble staying process-oriented as opposed to, results.
That was me on my entire 20s. My entire 20s, I was like on this rat race of like, someday I'm going to be a millionaire. And I became a millionaire, and then I was like, wait, I'm still not, like, I thought it would be different when I arrived there, And I totally agree with that. The someday thing is no way to have a millionaire mindset.
Yeah, because you take this grass is greener mindset with you into the future, but so you think right now, when I have $1 million or 10 million or 100 million, when I get there, then I'll enjoy it, I'll relax, and I'll finally experience the freedom and security and the peace that I want. But you don't realize you take that grass is greener mindset with you into the future, and it just replicates itself over and over again. So.
It's a sick thing, this thing called millionaire mindset. We get over it,
well, a healthy way, but there's a healthy alternative, right?
It's so important to release your expectations and really just truly embrace the fact that you and your business are going to evolve. Your mindset's going to evolve, and if you're growth focused, then you can just continue to grow rather than expecting that once you reach that destination that's the final chapter.
Totally. And to realize that whatever it is that you're seeking in money doesn't actually exist in money, whether it's freedom, security, safety, peace, happiness, love, joy, it doesn't exist in the money. And at a point in time, that money can be ripped away from you, whether it's through taxes, whether through people stealing it, whether through banks going belly up. Things happen.
True, so true.
So if you're gambling on the future, I'd say it's a poor bet.
Yeah, but I do think it's important. I think that one of the most important distinctions for people to think about is, of course, millionaire mindset is building assets and not liabilities. And I think that we oftentimes get into business and we just keep doing this rat race, and it's, we need breaks sometimes. Health issues happen sometimes, whatever. So thinking about assets versus liabilities is a must, I think, in today's world, especially in women's entrepreneurship. I mean, keep preaching that.
It's a good
Get some
point.
assets, build your assets.
So I have a question, Erin. So when it comes to deciding which assets to grow and to build, what would you recommend for people?
Definitely the ask to go on Instagram first.
Oh, is that where the real capital is? Huh?
No, I think
social capital.
I think you have to decide, are you going to build something that it's your expertise and you're building an asset that is like a business that you're going to eventually sell off? Or are you interested in like real estate? If it's real estate, you need to decide, are you going to be an active investor, or are you going to just find a group that really knows what they're doing? You're going to become a passive investor. Same with the stock market. I don't recommend, you should always find an expert and that has proven things. Don't go invest in the stock market unless this is your entire world, this is your investment. Don't do it. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but that is my personal advice to you. Either only invest in assets that you're active at, if that's your expertise and that's what you're committed to for your lifetime.
Especially the day trading, right?
Oh, no, don't do it.
Do the day trading.
Yep. Well, great conversation, you guys. So important. So many people. I know that when a few of my coaching friends put out freebies online, when it has millionaire mindset, it gets like a lot more depth. So we know that people want the millionaire mindset. So let's take a break and talk to some of the women back there, how their mindset is allowing them to have a life that they love. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Packrat.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting news from all over the world.
We are live.
Live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning LaLaLand. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. It's going to be a Good Morning LaLaLand.
Welcome to the very first episode of Sadie Says. I'm your host, Natalie Sadie. Welcome, Daniel Hall. First episode.
I didn't even realize it was your first episode.
Hi, welcome to Dr. Erin Show. It's been a while since we've been here, and I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about discovering your purpose and calling, and I have Elle Russ in the house. Thank you so much for coming all the way down here today.
Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm your host, Tara Tenner, and this is the Model Mama Show. I'm so excited about our guest today. We have Chelsea Cannell-Briggs, who this is literally a blast from the past, you guys.
It's true.
We haven't seen each other since we worked together at Fox Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the show. I am excited and delighted because we have an amazing guest. So thank you, Jeannie, for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm a fan of both of you.
I'm Jez Moyer, and this is LA Unscripted, and I'd love to welcome to my show Mr. Jacques Silverstein. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my great pleasure to be with you.
This is somebody who went from super nerd to supermodel, so I'm so excited. Let's talk to Anna.
Yes.
Anna, you were the winner of our very first Viva Glam model search.
Yeah, you guys were actually my very first photo shoot.
Hi everyone and welcome to Reshape. I'm Allie Landry and I am so thrilled to have our next guest. So I am so grateful that you are here with us at Reshape today.
Thank you, Allie. I'm so happy to see you. And you couldn't look more gorgeous if you tried.
Today's guest is best known for being the fitness guru on 6 seasons of The Biggest Loser. He's a New York Times best-selling author. Dolvet. Dolvet, we don't even say Quince anymore. It's just Dolvet. It's
like one name.
Dolvet.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. We have perfect lighting. We've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Hello and welcome to The Joe Show. I'm Josephine, and here on our couch today is none other than the heartthrob of Shahs of Sunset, Shervin.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ren Wood Show. I am so excited for my guest today. I have the beautiful Bianca Hayes. Thank you so much for being here, Bianca. Give me a hug.
For this episode of Purpose, I'm your host, Brittany Zonker. I'll see you next time.
Hola, yo soy Gina Moreno y soy una reportera aquí en Los Ángeles. Para mí, mi pasión es para decir las historias de las personas que han luchado lo imposible. Todas las entrevistas aquí en Focus TV. Hi, I'm Gina Moreno, a reporter here in Los Angeles, and my passion is to tell people's stories, the stories of people who have accomplished the impossible. For all the interviews, make sure to watch Focus TV.
live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited for Emery Dobbins and Pharaoh. You have created the most chic, functional anti-theft bag I have ever seen. I didn't even know a bag could be anti-theft, but oh my goodness.
You got to show in the camera your wrist also. So it comes and it's like on, it's dope. Like it's so good.
Yeah. So this one also has a shoulder strap, or you can take it off and just keep it as a clutch as well. You know, so it's elegant.
So when they come
chic.
by and they try and grab your bag, you can be like,
exactly. So it has, it actually has a lot of safety features built in. They all have the same safety features. It has slash-proof lining.
Slash-proof.
Which is actually a huge thing traveling abroad right now. Is a thief comes by, slashes the bottom of your bag, contents fall out, and another one is ready to grab everything and run.
Wow.
It's very scary.
Wow.
It happens a lot actually. With my good friend when she was traveling, it happened too. Yes, look it up. You're gonna be scared, but don't be.
Exactly. Problem solved.
But it also has RFID shielding pockets so that you can't get electronically pickpocketed as well. And then it has, they all have
wait, go back to that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like skimmers, right?
Yes. Yeah. So what happens is they come by with a device and they can scan your credit cards, your ID, they can scan
Through the bag.
Through the bag.
What?
Yes, through your wallet, everything. So what happens is they scan it, they can even take your ID, steal your identification, they can take your hotel room key, the information off that, put it on their hotel room key, and then just go on your behalf.
This is happening all over Europe right now.
And even in America. There was a guy in Orlando that actually did a test, and he got 75 bags, or 75 collections in 1 hour.
Wow.
Walking around Orlando.
He's
So
killing
it happens a lot.
Wow.
So you have the RFID, then also all of them have a combination lock, as you can see. So you can take off.
It just looks so cool. The fact that it's actually functioning.
It's functioning. You can take this off, wrap it around your chair, your grocery cart. You know, you never leave your chair, your bag on your chair at lunch or whatever, as it's going to get stolen.
Or in Target, that's the worst thing.
Target.
I'm always pushing the cart, my bag's in there, and they walk away.
Yesterday, my best friend got hers stolen off of a grocery cart. So you can snap it to that, as well as you can take the zipper, attach it all together.
This is so cool.
And so
this
you can't get
perfect size for
pickpocketed.
books, because I don't really care. I'm not worried about my jewelry. It's the books that I worry about getting stolen. Right? I give them away. I don't get them back.
Yeah, so you have this size, and it has the 3 different sizes. You have the Manhattan, this is the LA, and then you have the Miami, which is your tote bag, your beach bag. It's water resistant as well. And then you have the Manhattan, and they're all inspired off of different cities. And when I was traveling, that's what they looked like to me, you know? So,
when did you decide? Where did you decide?
Yeah.
I'm going to create this handbag line, anti-theft handbags.
So it happened, I was traveling, I was on a beach, and I was wanting to go in the ocean. I had all my stuff with me, but I was like, what am I gonna do with my stuff? I don't want people to be able to steal the things out of my beach bag, my purse, you know, when you're traveling, you take everything with you wherever you go.
And you can't take it into the ocean.
And you can't take it into the ocean. So I wanted to create something that would attach to your beach chair, so you can securely have everything attached. And so unless a thief is gonna take your whole beach chair and run down, you know, everything is secure there, and they can't get in it, and they can't slash through it. You know, it's right there, it's safe, and it just kind of branched from that to make it an everyday kind of bag as well. You know, not just a travel bag. So.
I'm so bad. I literally leave doors open sometimes. I'm just like, I've never I left one time my wallet in the thing at the grocery store, and I walked out, came back the next day, someone had turned it in. Like, I'm like so lucky that way. But this is a real deal. Was there something that happened to you traumatically besides the beach that made you concerned?
Nothing happened to me, but I have had a lot of friends who've had stories. And so, you know, of them traveling, and luckily it hasn't happened to me, and now it shouldn't happen to me.
But it's so chic.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and there's no luxury handbag that does this.
I love that. So,
it's all Italian
your
leathers.
background around acting and dancing and choreography, and so tell us a little bit about, obviously you're just so creative. I mean, you're just a creative artist. Look at your work you're doing. So what, were you born like this? Was there something that happened that, like, were you born like this? I'm gonna design, this is the first line, I'm not creating enough.
You know what, I never had an interest before. It was just one of those, I found a need, I wanted it for myself, and so I created it because I felt other people would want this as well. And it kind of just branched off from there. The acting of dance of course goes back a long way. I was born and bred a dancer, and then turned into actor around 13, and now do both of those as well. So
did you ever aspire to be an entrepreneur?
You know what, I did. I feel like, you know, doing an acting and dancing, you are your own business as well. So
for sure.
Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand.
It's so interesting though, and what I really truly respect and admire is that this wasn't just an idea. This wasn't just a conversation. You made this happen.
Yeah.
And so many people get stuck in that mind trap of,
Right.
well, I wouldn't even know what to do. What
Yeah.
do you think it is about you, or what would you tell people who might have a great idea, might have a great vision for a design, whatever it might be?
Yeah.
How do you overcome any hesitations to bring it to life?
Well, there was definitely a lot of hesitations. There was definitely a lot of setbacks as this is a new technology into this brand. So it took about 2 years to fully figure out all the details, work out all the, the quirks and stuff. So, you just have to go for it. If you have an idea, you have to believe in yourself first, and you just have to make it happen. And I just, just persistence. Don't let things, set you back. There's a lot of setbacks, working on this bag. As the lock is all custom made. There's patents now on everything. So you just have to go for it.
Good for you.
What was the greatest hurdle you had to overcome in creating the brand and the business?
Getting people on board for the manufacturers to understand what this is, and some of the setbacks is it has slash-proof lining. So when they're making this bag, it's not easy to make because it was cutting and breaking all these machines. So that was a setback as well. So they had to bring in, quality, big machines to actually make these bags because it was breaking their machines. So yeah, and then, getting people on board I wanted to do a custom lock that also represented the Affaro double rings. So that's all custom made as well. So
I love that. So on Wealth Wednesday, focusing on women's entrepreneurship, what, when you do have those setbacks, is there a practice that you have to get your mind back right? Because sometimes it's like, I just want to give up.
Yeah,
is there a
of course.
practice that you have around that?
It's just positivity. I was just raised that way. My family's very supportive, and anytime I would call my mom or my dad, saying, "Oh, what am I going to do? This and this happened." They're just like, "Anna Marie, this is what you need to do. You've wanted to do this now for 2 years, so just go for it." So it's surrounding yourself with people also that believe in you.
I love that.
Yeah.
So true, right?
Yeah.
So important.
Well, we believe in you, and we
Thank
really
you.
believe in these handbags.
Yeah.
So tell
Thank
everybody
you.
where they can find and follow and buy Affaro.
Yes, so you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Affaro Handbags, and you can also go on our website, affarohandbags.com.
But everything is sold out.
Yes, but you can still order, and
Okay.
it'll arrive in 6 to 8 weeks. So it's not completely, hopeless if you didn't get it yesterday. You can still get it.
I might just have to steal that one from you. Right there.
It's locked to me. You can't steal it.
Stay
Just steal her.
tuned. You guys will be right back.
Roll.
Drum roll, please. Part of the Focus TV family, Ms. Kelly Gores is gracing the cover this month. She is the filmmaker behind the Heal documentary. We have a very special interview with Mr. Mark Teschner, Ellen Rakuten, and of course some incredible people. We have a special video about it as well. It's very near and dear to my heart because this issue, I actually was the managing editor.
You
Wow.
did so much work,
Jasmine.
Jazz.
Yeah,
Big
thank
shout out
you.
to Andy and you and everyone that has been involved for sure.
Thank you, Andy, for the opportunity to be such an active part in this community.
Speaking of empowerment, Jeslyn, you crushed it.
Right?
Wow,
Boy.
thanks, Rob.
You are a power player, girl.
I really appreciate that. I couldn't do it without the both of you. You are my enlightenment. You are my life school every morning. So thank you for letting me be a part of your community.
So for people that haven't seen the documentary, let's just give them a little overview of what is the documentary. We're going to show the trailer in a minute, but from your perspective, tell them a little bit about it.
Yes, so the film is basically showing people how incredible the body is and how we're designed to heal, and how big of an impact our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions have on our physical body. So as you guys were mentioning before, those 9 healing essentials that people, tapped into, only 2 of them are physical. The rest were mental, emotional, and spiritual. So that I look at as kind of the ratio for what you need. If you want to heal physically, you really need to bring in the emotional and mental factors. And we see it in the placebo effect, how what you believe affects your biochemistry and your physiology. So belief and the mind-body connection is very powerful.
Good morning, La La Land, and we have the huge honor of being with Lillian Garcia.
Oh my God.
This month, gracing the cover of the Influence issue
Look at
of
that.
Forbes magazine. Thank you
Oh my
so
God,
much for
It's a
being
beautiful
here.
picture.
So gorgeous.
Holy crow. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is really crazy. I mean,
It's beautiful.
you guys
picture.
have no
It is.
idea what this means to me.
It does?
Yeah, it does. I tear up like so easy sometimes, but no, this is great.
But you're
Thank
such-
you.
Of course. the cover. Gorgeous.
Oh my God,
gorgeous
that
cover.
is so awesome.
And we have another little surprise for you, which is your article within the magazine.
This is so amazing. Holy moly, what is going on?
Oh my God.
When I'm out of town, I will leave that for my husband.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are live in Los Angeles with the Passionista herself, Erica De La Cruz. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Jess, on this friggin' set, and you guys are just gorgeous, so thank you for having me.
We love that you're a part of the Focus family, obviously, so thank you for spending your morning with
Love
us.
it.
Congratulations on the success of your book.
Thank you so much. I was just looking at all the monitors, and I'm like, oh, there's so much pink. Okay, good, I feel I feel good, yeah.
To have an Amazon #1 bestseller is huge.
It was a little cray-cray. Yeah, it was definitely a turning point in my life and my business, my brand, my career. And it was a little bit crazy, but I was lucky to be surrounded by some really fantastic people, including my business partner who was the publisher on it. And so he's like, it's all normal. He sort of walked me through it. So I thank God for that. Because if I would have been sort of alone and getting this news, I don't know, I would have been a little bit like, what do I do now? So, yeah.
So your book says tips, tales, and tweetables from women pursuing their dreams. So tell us about some of your favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. So Passionistas, tips, tales, and tweetables from women pursuing their dreams. The book itself is a real underlying commitment to the things that you actually can't find on the social feeds of young women you look up to right now. So it's rare that we publish our most personal, trials and tribulations on our Instagram feeds. Let's be honest.
Yeah, nobody wants to read about it.
Nobody, yeah. So,
At least, actually, they do, but I don't want to share it.
Right. So that's actually what the book aims to sort of break, is this this imaginary wall between, who you are as a persona and a personality, and being able to share vulnerably with the world, because that's what helped me personally while I was starting out. I underwent a lot of loss. It's chapter 1, everyone, if you get the book. The economy crash of 2009 sort of took everything that I've ever had physically, and I mean, like my family, my relationships, they were just sort of gone. And so I sort of turned to these other people that I idolized, and women and celebrities that I just loved, and I got to know their truths and their stories through YouTube links and really just investigating in some books what they've been through. And I'm like, I'm no different. This is great. Like, I'm still on my path. So, so some of my favorites are, well, I have a chapter in there, and it's really dedicated to the people who helped me get through that time. But
Who are those people?
Those people, yeah, those people are I call them my family. So it's interesting because when you lose everything, and I mean our items were sold to the state. So everything I grew up with was sold at various swap meets for the duration of my college years. So for about 3 years, I would get these random Facebook messages like, we think we see a photo of you, we think your furniture's in some random town. Wow. And the family sort of broke up, as it does during sort of depressions. So my family is who the book's actually dedicated to. And the answer to that question, which is, I have these 2 best friends, a nanny I grew up with. I was 3 months old when she started raising me, and we lost, our home and things. And all of a sudden, she started rebuilding this room in her house and started telling me, like, you can come back whenever you need to. And I started seeing these items appearing in this room she built for the first year. That was before I had known that our storage units were all sold. And then at a point in the year, she said, I want to share something with you. I know you keep trying to figure out how I have all of this stuff, but I'm going and I'm buying it back.
Oh my God, that is
so sweet.
Beautiful.
And so that's who the book's dedicated to. That is, what I wanted to share.
So take us through. I'm assuming that your parents went through bankruptcy. They had stuff in the storage units. They all got sold off. You lost everything to your name, and now you're on the journey of what it really means to have true wealth. Is that what?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It didn't start out with that intention. However, fast forward into the I had nothing and felt like I was armed with everything I ever needed. And then I really got there's nothing to lose. So the risk level, I became a lot more tolerant for sure. And I took them. So out of college, I became a marketing director for a broadcasting company, sort of used those resources to transition to my personal brand, television, and really discovered entrepreneurship through Bob Proctor, who is
amazing master.
He's amazing. And it's crazy because Bob Proctor worked in this world of like the people who actually trained Tony Robbins. And I'm so lucky to be acquainted with those like Goliaths. I met my business partner, and it turned out he was Jim Rohn's business partner of 18 years. And Jim sort of trained Tony, was a grandfather of this personal development mindset. So he published the Chicken Soup for the Entrepreneur Soul books back when. He said, I think that this generation and this girl boss movement happening needs something similar to the Chicken Soup book. So, you know, he saw a partner in me, and I came up with the branding. I came up with really pitching 39 female entrepreneurs that I was in love with. I was in love with their careers, what they were building, the brands they had, and I asked them to share their true stories inside of the book. So every chapter is a trial and tribulation that these women, young women, have been through.
What were some of the greatest lessons you learned through those stories?
You know, one of the greatest lessons I think that I've learned is that I'm not alone. No one is alone. Like anything that, and that's really my commitment here on Earth, and it's pretty big, but for someone to be able to say, oh, me too, or that happened to me, or resonate with someone else's story is what I got from even creating the book, which is reading the stories of these women who I idolized. They were my peers, but they were also building some really incredible things. So to hear about their face plants, their rejections, and their mistakes, one of the common threads that was unexpected was the loss of a lot of the women had lost their mothers, and they had passed away. And for a young woman without her mom, I experienced that to the degree that mine didn't pass away. However, when all of that happened, straight out of a soap opera, like our other guest today, she retreated from materialism and really went into homelessness. And I felt so lost without her when I read these stories of these young women without even physically having their mothers on the planet. I just felt so comforted to know that someone else is going through the same things. We're all humans. It's this thread of humanity is what I really took from the process.
And it's nothing that's ever going to hold you back, but really just freed you.
It freed me in a whole, like the more that I can get other people's stories and get those stories into the hands of the rest of the people needing to hear them, it's freeing. It's just like shackles gone. Yeah.
Let's just shackle up with that O'Farrell handbag.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take that shackle.
I'll take that pink shackle I was just looking at. I'll take that purse in a heartbeat.
Well, where can people find you and find the book and everything else, obviously?
Totally. So they can find me at, right now it's at Passion to Paycheck, #Passionistas. The book has sort of evolved into its own brand conference and now show here on the Focus TV network. So at Passion to Paycheck, and then my personal handles are at _ Erica Dela Cruz, ericadelacruz.com. Come hang out. Passionistas and Passionistos are
Love.
Yes.
I think
We're included.
It's such a great point, though, just I think working with entrepreneurs and everything, that they have to somehow be okay with not getting the money at the same time. Like that non-attachment is
100%.
so important. So your story is very important. I went through the 2008. I watched so many friends lose everything to their name.
Yeah.
It's a really tough time, but actually what came out of everyone's values shifted to much better values.
That's gorgeous. I got chills. That's totally exactly right.
Thank you for your story. It's really important and it's really touching.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Yeah.
Thank
Stay
you.
tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. I'm your associate producer of the Focus TV network, which is America's first video streaming talk show network, but you already knew that. And I got my girl with me,
Jasmine Moye, co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand.
So last week on the Focus TV network, we had the Renwood Show, Purpose with Brittany Zonker. We had
the incredible actor Reggie Watkins.
On the LA Home Show with our host Natasha Phillips
was broker extraordinaire Amy Kane.
Yes. On Eyes Up Here with Lindsay Palis, we had
the actress Shai Fontanet.
On Naked Chats with Josh Murray, we had
Sheena Marie from Vanderpump Rules.
Yes, we're also so excited to announce the newest issue of Focus magazine.
And we are lovingly calling it the Romance Issue. We're proud to feature Ms. Tosca Musk on the cover, along with Focus TV family Rob Mac Official.
Yes,
and
our guy.
Lori Harder.
So, speaking of Rob Mac, co-host of Good Morning La La Land, Jeslyn Moyer. There was a very busy week at Good Morning La La Land. Who was on the show?
It was a great week in La La Land. On the show, we had two-time Emmy Award-winning producer and actor, Eddie Perez.
Yes.
We also had dating expert Laurel House.
What?
She co-hosts the hashtag Man Whisperer with Rob Mac.
With Rob Mac.
We were really excited to talk tennis with Carrie Lynn. And all the way from Orange County, Rachel Savoda.
Wes Gear was actually here repping his Rock to Recovery event.
And Focus TV with Good Morning La La Land was on the red carpet to promote Rock to Recovery 3. We talked to Drew Carey, Jeremy Jackson, Kira Reed-Lorsch was there. Let's take a look at the concert.
Let me hear you say, hell yeah! Say, hell yeah! Ready for the F-bomb? Say, fuck yeah! Now scream! I love you guys. Let's do this.
So much fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning into This Week in Focus. I'm Victoria Simone.
And I'm Jeslyn Moyer. Don't miss the new issue of Focus magazine. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited to welcome Emmy Award-winning actress and producer Patrika Darbo to the show. Thank you so much.
Honey, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
We do. You are like a ball of light coming in this morning.
You have to be there, honey.
How do you keep that shine on?
It's called acting. No, just
practice.
You know what? You give out and you get back. Yeah. So I try to give out positive, and I always seem to get it back. And then when I don't, it's kind of like, what? Oh, honey, I've always been a heavy kid. I've always been bullied, but I learned if you make them laugh with you instead of at you, you're in. So you know what? There is a lot of bullying. It's been going on for a long time, and it seems to be continuing, but you make the best of it. You know that you're the best, and you put it out there.
During the commercial break, you even said, amazing.
I am amazing. I've always been a heavy kid. I am an Emmy-winning actress who didn't have a lot of, I started on the ground doing background work. I worked my way up, and that's why I can say, if I can do it, you can do it, which I hate that statement. But you know what? Don't sit around whining about things. Be positive. Go out there and get it, because it's yours.
So what would you tell your younger self, that background actor?
That it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, is know it's going to be okay.
So we have found in studies that people want to work with people they like. It's one of the #1 things. You could have, 3 different people, have even someone even better skill set, but the person that they like generally gets. I can only imagine how many people, like obviously you're very skilled, don't get me wrong, I don't mean to say that. She sucks, but she's really like, but
they like me.
But I can't imagine, like if you're on the set, I mean, people are like, we want her back all the time.
Well, and that's a pleasure, but I mentor a lot of young actors and actresses, and I just always say to them, never have to tell you to be nice. That should just be innate. And people, they go to what that is, and they vegetate is not the word I want right this moment, but gravitate. There's the word. Gravitate to that all the, and it is true. You want to be around people. When you're working 12 to 15 hours a day, you want to be with people that make you happy and you enjoy it. And you as yourself want to get up and go. You don't want to have to. You have another guest. You don't want to have to go do something. You're allowing yourself. You get to go do that. So
true.
Oh yeah, just like our other guest said.
Right, and I did write a book too, you guys. HarperCollins, 365 Glorious Days of Love and Romance. It's a sex book. Because some do like big. So just, okay, I'm done with that now, because that's not what we're talking about.
Patrick, they like it bold and they like it beautiful.
They do like it bold and beautiful, honey. There you go.
Tell us about your run on the series.
You know what? I'm recurring now. I just worked yesterday on it. I'm so grateful to Brad Bell to bring me on. I love working with Courtney Hope. She's the new Sally Spectra, and it's been a pleasure. And then on my lovely days working on Days of Our Lives has been great. I thought I was going on to serve beer and peanuts, and who knew I was going to be a vixen. You know, so it's kind of those great things.
But what's it like to work on the set of a soap opera?
It's very busy. It's very fast, and there is a lot of memorizing. So it's I didn't leave my sofa for like 2 years, like to memorize the word. Because as an actor, you learn that there's more than one way to say hi, how are you, and you want to make sure that you know all of them so that you're listening to what, and then you give back, and there's that interchange, and you grow as an actor and make it more real life instead of just stagnant at times and stuff that can happen when you're doing 40 pages a day. And that's just one set of actors, you know, because they shoot a movie script a day. A movie script a day.
Wow.
So just keep in
Some of
mind.
the hardest working people in Hollywood.
It's the hardest work I've ever done, I'll tell you that, and I have such great respect for my co-workers. I mean, it's amazing, amazing.
So what do you do when you have a bad day, a down day? Like, how do you deal with that? Because you're such a light, you come in and people expect that. So like, what do? Do you have someone you go to
Well, because I'm having a bad day, why would I want to make you have a bad day? So just be who, you know, bite the bullet, so to speak, and then go in your room, meditate about what's making you upset, but don't take it out there somewhere else, because that's only bringing other people down and being negative. So just put it out there, be back to yourself, go in your room and find out, center yourself and find out what's wrong.
Brilliant.
Who've been the greatest models in your life for that happy, positive energy?
Well, my stepdad probably was the best. He was known as the biggest little man in baseball. He was only 4'2". He started in the front office in the Boston Braves, Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves. Before he passed away, he was with Houston Astros. But he, you know, if you want it, go get it. You can have it. And don't let anybody tell you you can't.
Wow, just phenomenal.
So yeah.
At any point in your journey, did you ever consider not going forward with it? Do you ever consider quitting?
Honey, I lousy waiting tables. For 20 years, I was a credit manager. You know the speakers, JBL? Yeah. I was their national credit manager. Okay, thank you. There's laughter coming over there. You don't think I could collect money? What the hell? Anyway, so yeah, so I was not a good, here's your soup. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So I did, but I was a damn good credit manager. And I had a gentleman tell me that acting, because I was acting part-time, didn't realize I was, until I looked at the books, that I was making more acting part-time than I was full-time as a credit manager. And so, you know, you make those choices.
It's such an important conversation because so many people, especially in Los Angeles, come here and they expect to make a full-time living as an actor, as an entertainer.
No, not happening.
It's going to take some time.
Well, and it's even more different now. I mean, when I came here, I would audition with 5 women. That generally the casting people would call in. There'd be 5 people for the part. Now there's at least 50. You know, and by the time, and you're all put on tape anymore. Used to be you'd walk in and there'd be the producer, writer, director sitting all there. You'd say hi to them. Even you'd know if you had the part before you walked out, or you knew that at least you'd be back for a part on another show because somebody'd be writing for you. Now everything's on tape. You're acting with a camera, somebody reading over here. So it's a whole lot. So the only advice I could say is, don't come here and expect to be a big fish. You're going to be a very little fish. Make your fish grow where you are, and then bring that fish here. But at this point, there's so much production and things going on all over the world. Take advantage of it. Surround yourself with like-minded people. That's the most important. Don't sit in a bar going, yeah, no. Get in a class and enjoy yourself and have a good time and work to what you want. Don't whine about it.
Spoken like a true governor.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, I am.
Tell us about that role.
Well, there are 2 governors for every division. Every Emmys that are given, they have 2 governors that govern that. I am the governor with Bob Bergen. He is the voice of Porky Pig. Darling man, love him to death. He and I are the governors for the performers, which mean any changes in the bylaws or things that we want to add. If right now we've been working, and we hope to continue working to have more inclusivity in the disabled side of it, to bring members in, because it's harder for them to get more roles, and there is you do have to have a certain number of roles to qualify. We're also working to there's no category for guest actors or actresses in short series. So like Naomi Grossman, who was the pinhead in Horror Story back when, I think it was, I don't remember which episode it was, but she had no place to go for her wonderful performance. So it's those kind of things as governors that we try to do, is to make sure that there's a place for everyone's talent, because we reward excellence, and that's what we're doing here.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're
That's a
such
lot.
a sweetheart.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So what projects do you have coming up?
Well, as I just finished Bold, I have a Christmas movie you won't even know a minute. I play Mrs. Santa Claus, but they're talking dogs. So there'll be cute little dogs, and you'll be going, who was holding that dog? I don't know. That kind of thing. So that's good. And I'm going to Atlanta because I have my great niece getting married, but I'm going to have some meetings there. I just wrote a pilot that I hope gets we've got some good meetings going on there. So yeah, it's like, if it's not going this way, nobody says you have to keep going here. Spread out. If this road's not working, get on this road. Move forward. Don't sit here and whine. I can't say that enough, unless you're drinking like
Tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
Patrika Darbo or Darbo Patrika. It's out there. I'm technically challenged on. I can't have secret things. I can't have secret stuff out there. I'd be in trouble. Barely my phone. What's my phone number? It's like I don't call myself, so who the hell knows what it is? What? Craziness like this. So.
Well, we will find and follow your journey. Thank you for all the work
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very much, honey. Thank you.
Good morning, La La Land.
A long time, your new single, produced by Pooh Bear.
Yes.
Works with the bees.
Yes.
I know this is massive.
It is, yeah. I was so amazed because I actually wrote a song about Justin Bieber in my previous album. And suddenly, Pooh Bear comes along and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta meet Justin. This is fate, this is destiny right here. So yeah, it was an amazing experience working with him. He's super talented, he's so humble, he's so down to earth, and it was just a blast working with him. I'm living the best life. I have great parents, I have such good friends, I have a dream, I have my music, I have my friends, so I think I'm really happy.
Welcome back to Purpose. I am your host, Brittany Zonker. I am flying with Andrew Seeley, the acro yoga instructor. This is insane, guys. I've been like this for like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
it doesn't. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. It feels like you should do this every day to me.
You can set up some sessions.
This feels amazing.
Yeah.
You guys, if you want to train with Andrew Seeley, all you have to do is look him up on Instagram. He is absolutely incredible. I've had an amazing time interviewing Mr. Seeley today. He teaches all over the world. He will help your body, mind, and your soul find your purpose. For this episode of Purpose, I'm your host, Brittany Zonker. I'll see you next time.
You have been a host and much more than that for many, many years. Any tips you can give us?
You start early in the morning here, so as long as you have somebody who picks up the speed for you, it's kind of like any relationship, right? Like someone has to have your back. Like if they know you're not knowing where the next camera is, the next question, as long as you're in tune with each other. But I think your show is incredible, and I'm so thrilled that I could be a part of it today. But more than that, it is about saying, hey, you know what, we need to impact change. What is the one little way in our own world that we can impact change? And whether it's you guys interviewing certain people, bringing awareness to topics, this is what needs to happen, because we've all woken up and we know what the future is if we keep going down this path.
I know that the calling and the purpose is so much greater than me trying to get my hair right, to go to the red carpet and whatever. I got to keep up because the purpose is so great.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. On Wealth Wednesday, we love to celebrate women entrepreneurs, and today we have an extraordinary one, beautiful in all yellow today. Alicia Dunham's amazing. She is a speaker, author, and the book I Get To, which is fantastic, talking all about how to use the right words that can radically transform your life, relationships, and business. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
We're #open for business.
Open for business, heart-based business. Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, you are up to so many incredible things in the world of entrepreneurship and really, truly being a pioneer and a female leader. So thank you for all the work you've done. Really, truly, it's incredible. And I think it's so important to have the conversation about reframing your mindset by simply the verbiage you're using.
So
Let's
important.
Start there.
Imperative.
Absolutely. I firmly believe that language is life. And what you say, you create. It's the power of the spoken word. And what's something that's really important to me and to teach my clients and when I go and speak at corporations is that, it all begins with what you say. So you have inspired thought and you take committed action. And part of taking committed action is the words that you use. So something that I share with my clients, I have a program called Bestseller in a Week, and I help people write books, is that even saying out to your Facebook community, etc., that you are writing a book, first of all, it puts skin in the game. It gives it accountability. It turns it from dream life into real life. So really something important. Now, when it comes to words that you use, something that's important is I heard you speaking about trying. So when you say I'll try, you are failing with honor.
Completely.
So when you tell your kids, I'll try to pick you up from school at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Or I'll try to make your baseball game.
That means it's not going to happen, just so you know.
Yeah, there's the potential of it not happening. And
it's like when people say, I'll try and make your event. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I'll see you there.
Well, yes, that's kind of an LA thing. I'll try. It's like, well, pretty much, it's either say yes or no. I am committed to being at your baseball game. I am committed to coming to your event. And so the words we use, the way we craft our words are really important in terms of the life that we want. I talk about, for example, disappointed. When someone says, I'm disappointed, that's a very victim state of mind. Now, of course, we are disappointed by people. What I look at it is, how can you be appointed? I'm appointed to share my truth in this moment. I am appointed to share what comes up for me when you do this, for example. So instead of being dejected and disappointed, come from a place where you're appointed like a queen or a king, where the language you use not only stands for yourself, but you get to stand for the other person as well.
So true. We teach it in the universe does not future or past, does no penny from $1 billion. So it's very important, like you set your goals and affirmations of I am instead of I will or someday, you know, whatever. So important. Language is everything. So how do you take this into a weekend to create, that you create their books with it, or is this a separate, you do coaching with their language separate from?
Well, yes, I have two programs. I have a program called I Get To, which is a conscious community, coaching community, communication community. Something that's important that we're seeing what's happening in the world we live in now in terms of politics is politicians pander to our critter brain. So for the sake of simplicity, we have two brains. We have our amygdala and our prefrontal cortex. So I call the amygdala our critter brain. And so politicians pander to scarcity thinking. And they pander to fear-based. And what we're seeing is a tribalism happening. It's me against you, us against them. That's what's happening in the world. And something that's important, and one of the concepts in my book is what I call the we collective. When you say something like this, what can we do to? Because when we do, we will. For example, what can we do to bridge the pay gap in this organization? Because when we do, we'll attract the best talent. We'll create a company culture that thrives, and we'll get great PR. So maybe the Congress, instead of being against each other, what can we do too? Because when we do,
we need you in politics. You have to go up there.
She is in a very subtle way, in a much more significant way.
We know it's so important. I remember working with a mentor years back, very spiritual, and even when you're sick, you're not supposed to say, I'm sick. I'm experiencing being sick, because you're not that. You know, so language is so profound when you get to the core of it. And we have, our language is really kind of whacked out, really. So even the I, there's no I, right? So what is the I?
Oh, removing yourself, removing responsibility. And what I call responsibility is response ability. It's how you respond. So there's a conversation. There are victims, yes. There are victims of crimes. There are victims. I mean, we look at the world we live in. There are victims. And there's a victimized mentality as well. And so, yes, honor yourself if you've been victimized. Honor another person lovingly. And how you move forward is, how do I respond to this? Do I stay in victim mode? Or do I respond in a way where I create a movement? I create a nonprofit. I support and mentor other people so this doesn't happen to them. So it's how we respond to the events and circumstances in our life will determine the outcome. Will determine the life that we live and what we create in the world.
Such a great point. So the question I kind of have is language, of course, is critical, and I just love the book, and I love your message, and it's most of the work that I do with executives around massaging language in ways that allows people to receive what you've said and apply it. Right? But part of the challenge and the opportunity is identifying what we're optimizing for when we use language. I think that for most people is somewhat unclear. You know, so in certain circumstances, you might say, "Oh, I want them to know my truth." but they can't hear your truth if you're screaming it at them, no matter how loud you scream, because you've shut down their mind and their heart to receive it. So talk a little bit, if you can, about what we should be optimizing language for, right?
So it's not only the words we say, it's the intonation behind the words we say. So that's really important, because you could say something like, "What do you mean by that?" Or you can say, "Oh, I'm curious, what do you mean by that?" So something that I teach a lot is softening our language. It lands in a way, because when you are in confrontation, when you're in, talking about the elephant in the room, for example, when you come at it in an attack mode, when you come at it in an angry mode, you create more of that. I have a concept in my book called blank people. So angry people, anger people. Hurt people, hurt people. Disconnected people, disconnect from people. And so just even the intonation is coming from a place of joy, coming from a place of connection. So connected people connect with people. Healed people heal people. Yeah. And so, when you're talking about a particular example, is how, let it land in a way where my truth in this moment is, or my experience is, or I have thoughts of. And just the softness in it creates an ability to go back and forth versus coming at, and that's really good if you have a partner or a spouse or husband or wife, because if you attack, what's going to come back at you?
But just to play devil's advocate for a minute, because working with so many clients, I found that they could try and pretend to be changing their language, but if they don't truly believe it and it's not an authentic thing, it's just not going to stay.
Wow, you make a really important point. So we live on automatic. We're living our lives. We often don't see our blind spots. I know I have blind spots. Someone else, a coach or example, to say, okay, these are your blind spots. So the first step is, okay, so we live on automatic, and we might say, I get to go to work, and it feels super inauthentic. Like I get to go to work, and then what happens is you start saying it, and it over time, language, you start living it. It's like, oh wow, and then you're writing your gratitude journal and stuff. I get to go to work. I have health insurance. I get to go to work. Some people don't have a job. I get to go, and so it moves from the automatic or the intellectualized, like being intellectual about it, into being fully integrated on a cellular level, which takes work, which is a moment by moment. This is what we work on in our life. Is wow, we talked about abundance. Is abundance fully integrated? Stressed about finances or what have you. And so you start saying it, I am abundant, I am abundant, and money comes easily and frequently. You might not really believe it. And then as you start really focusing on it, giving gratitude to it, it's a process, right? I would say.
Shin does that, where she gives I used to think affirmations were like once or twice a day or whatever, and she does do them for like an hour a day. I'm like, okay, it's like a whole gangster of affirmations. So I agree, but yeah, I do think that if you're going to reprogram through language, it's an intense way to it, because you've got to do it repetitively. It's got to be a huge commitment.
Well, you have to be present and mindful in the situation and aware of the words, and it's a conscious choice. Until you reprogram it enough to have to be solid and present in that.
Yeah. It's a choice.
And I see here a sort of two-pronged approach. One is sort of the outside-in approach, where language is not just describing what you're thinking, but it's informing what you're thinking and saying, right? And so that's but there's also an inside-out approach with respect to, which is what both Erin and Jessalyn said, and you speak to really eloquently, is that you can't fake it. It's got to be real. And so, and when you're trying to fake it, you don't even have access to the thoughts and words that will allow you to fake it well, right? And all the micro expressions and everything comes through in your verbal and nonverbal, gesture. You can't hide it, right? So what would you sort of tell people who are constantly coming from a place of reactivity, and despite using the right words, everyone feels in their intonation, in their pitch, in the rate of speech, that they're just not able to buy it because they're just coming through so angry or so upset?
Is to tell the truth. Is for example, saying, if you're I'm not angry, and you're talking to your husband, I'm not angry, is to be honest. It's like, wow, what's coming up for me in this moment is I have thoughts of anger.
Yeah.
I'm really upset because of X, Y, Z, and give me a moment. Can I have a moment? A simple pause. Meditation. So one way, because the transfer from the reactive to the responsive mind could be as simple as 3 breaths. Could be as simple as a pause. So pausing is part of my book as well. Do not say anything. And if someone is wanting you to say something, or you're in a heated argument, for example, can I have a moment? Is it okay if I get back to you later today?
So good. There was a period in my life, I remember in early adulthood, when I would get upset, I was committed to not saying anything that was going to be hurtful. I would literally put my hand here and hold my lips closed. Because if I did not do that, I was going to say something that I would probably later regret.
Yes.
So it's
I may have seen you do that once.
I don't need to do that quite as much.
You have self-awareness around that, and that's part of being emotionally intelligent, is being self-aware and knowing that, okay, I'm triggered in this particular situation. And so being honest about it, it's like, wow, I'm triggered right now. I need a moment. And again, the softening is really important. And managing your emotions is important. And empathy at the end of the day. We all have something to work on. Even it doesn't matter how enlightened, how many books we've written, how many books we've read. We all have something that we get to work on. And that is our journey in this lifetime. And so enrolling people in our journey, it's like, I need help on this particular thing. I need help on being more empathetic. I need help on being a generous listener. And then people can say, oh, wow, you're not being a generous listener right now. It's like, okay, great, thank you for shining a mirror up to me. So that we collective, that we're on this journey together, and it's okay. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm a mother of a 16-year-old, and she'll be like, you're not doing what you said in my book. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you for calling me forth.
So true.
Thank you for calling me forth.
Well, where can people find you and work with you?
Absolutely. Well, you can find the book on Amazon.com, and you can go to AliciaDunhams.com, or if you want to write a book. I wrote this book in 15 days.
Amazing.
I wrote it in 15 days. I did it during my weekend workshop, and then I spent 10 days, 3 a.m. to 7 p.m., just getting this out, because it was important, because the message in there was I was a vessel, it was a conduit. It wasn't about me, it was supporting the world in using language to change, to create impact.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For sharing your time.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Wealth Wednesday on Good Morning LaLaLand. Question of the day. So I consider the greatest wealth to be wisdom in some respects. And so I guess the question I have for you is sort of twofold, is what's the wisest piece of advice that you either received or would give someone around creating true wealth in their life? So any particular tips you have for people that want to experience true wealth?
Yeah.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
It's
think
coming hot. Love it.
What comes to mind is the mantra that I repeat every single day since I've heard it, which is the world does not give you what you want. It gives you who you're being. And so if you're being abundant, if you know that you have more than enough, if you know it's a done deal, then you're walking into rooms like the person who's abundant, and it's a done deal. It's not the person who's so close or wondering why it's not here. So world gives you who you're being. Yeah.
I love that.
Awesome.
I mean, I'll just have to say that it's just be yourself and be confident in your choices and who you are, and stay true to who you are, and have that mindset that you are enough and that you will make it.
So great.
Mine is, did it happen to you or did it happen for you? Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes, yes.
So turning pain into prosperity, and that we're source energy, so we get to create that.
Amen, sister.
For true wealth with my new O'Farrell handbag. We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday live at 9 a.m. You can also listen to all your favorite interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. Have a beautiful, divine Wealth Wednesday. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and support these beautiful ladies, people that you love in your life.
It's going to be a good morning, everybody.